Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, President Bongbong Marcos orders agencies to craft a 3-month plan to handle the Mayon Volcano eruption. Mayon's unrest is seen to last for weeks or even up to a few months. Office of Civil Defense spokesperson Raffy Alejandro joins us in the program. And later, senators set to probe the proposal to temporarily accommodate Afghan refugees in the country. Philippine ambassador to the United States, Babe Romualdez, tells us more later in the show. President Bongbong Marcos has sought a 90-day plan on how to handle how the national and local government of Albay can assist evacuees amid Mayon Volcano's increasing unrest. The Albay government has allocated 30 million pesos from its calamity funds, but Mr. Marcos says it can only sustain the province for 14 days or 2 weeks. State volcanologists say the Mayon unrest may last for weeks or even up to a few months.
Malay natin, magkabagyo pa, may mangyari pa, para meron silang reserba pa, hindi natin uubusin yung kanilang quick response fund. Yung DepEd, sinasabi, kailangan na nilang gamitin yung eskwelahan nila. So what are we going to do? We have to think in the longer term.
And let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Office of Civil Defense spokesperson Raffy Alejandro. Sir Raffy, good morning. Welcome to the source, sir.
Yes, Pinky, good morning. Good morning to all our televiewers.
Okay. Sir, let's just get this siguro a little bit more clear. We have a whole government approach in helping our kababayans over there in Albay. But what exactly is the primary role and focus of the OCD, or the Office of the Civil Defense?
Yes, number one, Pinky, we have a role of really making sure that all actions of the government are coordinated and well-calibrated. That's the number one role of the OCD, being the Secretariat and Executive arm of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. So we make sure that the actions of DSWD, DOH, PHIVOX, Pag-asa, are well coordinated and planned to ensure that assistance to the affected communities will be properly given.
I see.
In the case of Mayon, we have already activated our Emergency Operations Center. It's an interagency hub wherein we exchange information that will aid our decision makers in this particular response, which is our response to Mayon.
So well and good, because there are other concerns and sometimes even questions that there might be some sort of duplication or replication of functions because of the different agencies coming together to help the residents of Mayon. So that's clear now. Let's talk about the evacuees, Sir Raffy. Ilan na ho ba yung evacuees as of now?
Yes, as we speak, Pinky, there are now around 17,900 persons in 25 evacuation centers. We are now operating 25 evacuation centers covering 5 towns or LGUs initially. But this can go up, based on the guidance of the President, wherein we really have to prepare for a worst-case scenario. We're looking at, in case of there's an escalation of the alert level, we're looking at close to 30,000 families that will be in evacuation centers. But right now we are now at the 4,800, close to 5,000 families are in different evacuation centers. So the challenge now, Pinky, is really how to properly manage and make sure that the evacuation centers are adequate. They have enough wash facilities. The water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities are functioning. And of course, there is our challenge also, because most of the evacuation centers that we are using are schools, DepEd facilities. So this is a challenge for us also with DepEd on how we can sustain the education of our affected pupils or learners.
Students,
So these are the things that we need to really plan out, because we believe, Pinky, that there will be no casualty as far as the direct impact of Mayon, no, the eruption, as long as the 6-kilometer danger zone is clear of people. But we might have casualty or problems in our evacuation centers.
Okay, it's good you brought that up. But the number increased, Sir Raffy, because yesterday it was just about 15,000 individuals, a little
Yes.
more, 15,025. Tumaas na po ito ng halos 2,900 because it's at 17,900. And in addition to 22 evac centers yesterday, it's now 25. So let's talk about the problems, sir, in evacuation centers. You said these need to be managed, the evacuation centers, hygiene, sanitation, etc. When we look at this, the pictures that we're seeing, marami rin hong complaints, ano po, palikuran, yun nga po yung sinabi ninyo, clean water, electricity. So how can this be managed, and how can the evacuees have a little bit more comfortable way of staying or living in these evacuation centers?
Yes, Pinky. We are trying to manage this in a way that we need to follow the SPHERE standard, no, in maintaining or managing evacuation centers. For one, we really have to try hard to maintain the 3.5 square meter ratio, no, per person per evacuation space. That will give them enough space, and of course, the elbow to move around. No, we don't want to see cramped evacuation centers or facilities. So that's one. We are working out with DepEd and of course DPWH and the local government units on how we can expand or increase the capacity. So we're looking at establishing more evacuation centers because we need to free up spaces. That's one. And second, there's still the threat of COVID. We still need to manage that because DOH has reminded us that we still need to manage the COVID. And of course, the most important is the hygiene and water and sanitation requirements. We need to have adequate numbers of latrine, cooking areas, bathing areas, so that ito po, these things we really have to manage to avoid any health problems later on po.
It's sickness and illnesses kasi meron na pong reports that some of the evacuees are getting sick. Meron na pong sipon at ubo. But let me go back to what you said. The goal is really 3.5 meters per person. I know what 3.5 meters, how big that is, sir. Is that even being followed in any of the evacuation centers as we speak?
Yes, sir. Yes, Pinky, we're looking at really making sure that this is being followed. But right now, as we can see in pictures, no, we see still ECs that are cramped. So we will coordinate with LGUs on this, the DepEd and DPWH, so that we can start decongesting these evacuation centers. We are doing that, Pinky. We have clusters to do that. We have the camp management being led by the SWD, and they have taken notice of that since day one. No, we have flagged that already, that we really have to maintain a very comfortable, adequately prepared and safe evacuation centers.
Would you say it is adequate right now and safe for the evacuees, sir?
As far as safety is concerned, I think these evacuation centers are safe as far as Mayon is concerned. But adequate, if it's adequate po, we still need to make a proper assessment because as soon as we increase the alert level, we need more evacuation centers. We might need to move more evacuation centers outside the danger zone. So this is an evolving thing, Pinky. We really have to be on our toes on this, especially with the SWD, DepEd, and the province of Albay. So we're looking at that because based on the guidance of the president, we really have to prepare for a long-term response. Meaning we're looking at minimum of 1 month and maximum
of
hopefully
3 months.
3 months, no, 90 days of managing evacuation centers.
And while we're talking about this, as a last question, sir, have there been any identification of additional evacuation centers as we speak?
Yes, Pinky, we are doing that right now with the province of Albay because we really need more because Pinky, if the alert level is escalated to 4 and increases from 6 to 7, it will require additional. There will be additional 7,000 individuals who needs to be relocated, and if it's extended again for another kilometer, another 9,000 individuals. And then up to 9 kilometers, that's easily 10,000 individuals. So we're looking at around 30,000, families. 30,000 families that will be in evacuation centers. So the 25 right now is really not adequate.
Okay. OCD spokesperson Raffy Alejandro, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky, and good morning to you.
Take care, sir. We'll be taking a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.